Hello, welcome to Scrap Time episode 900. My name is Christine, and on today's episode I'm showing you some new Hero Art stamps for the holidays. Today I am showing you some new holiday products from Hero Arts, and I'm starting with these two stamps. This one is called Sherry's Tree number 2, and this is Miracle of the Holidays. And I love getting different holiday greetings that you can stamp onto your cards. So this is the card I made with these two stamp sets. I stamped the tree and then I used my dabbers to easily and quickly color in the little spots on the tree. And then I stamped my greeting using the neon ink that I showed you a couple episodes ago from Hero Arts. Next I had this winter tree pattern stamp, and so I made this card here, and I started by using my dabbers and putting dots all over the background of my card. I'm using a watercolor paper card for this technique, but you could probably use other papers as well. And then I just stamped the bottom of the trees so it looks like you're walking into a forest. And then here I used that same greeting stamp set and put wishing you holiday cheer. And then I added on some of the snowflakes that I showed you on the last episode from Lawn Fawn Stamps, just to embellish the card a bit. Now I am showing you this background. It's called Snow Dots. And then this stamp set called Chalkboard Messages. And I made this card here where I took my dabbers and put them all over the stamp and then put my card on for the background. I dried it. And then I embossed the Happy Holidays on another piece of paper and then just raised it up with some pop dots. And then I wanted to show you this stamp. It was called Painted Canvas. And this allows you to get that drippy, messy look without making a huge mess. And I made this card here by using my green dabber and then stamping the greeting on the bottom. And I'm going to show you how I made this card. So I'm going to turn it over. And I'm using my neon green dabber for this. And I'm doing a combination of pouncing it and rubbing the color on. By pouncing it, you get more ink on, whereas if you just rub it, it won't be as much. I'm going to try and get a bit more color on my little lines here. Okay, so now I'm going to get my paper. Now for this technique I'm using a watercolor paper because I'm actually going to be adding water to it. So if you use the regular paper, it may not work as well. So I have my card here. So I'm going to go this way on it, and you just sort of line it up, put it down, and then rub it around with your fingers just to transfer your ink. Okay. Then I'm going to take it off and spray water on it. Now I find that this ink dries fairly quickly, so you want to get that water on quickly. And now I'm going to dry this. Now along the side of my cards I have a bit of water pooling happening, so I can absorb some of that with a paper towel. Now to clean your stamp, you just need to spritz it a bit with some water and then rub it off. If some of the color gets down into the crevices, it probably won't affect anything. It's deep enough. So there, our stamp is clean. So there we have our card. You can see that every time you do it, you'll get a little bit different effect. This one I probably had more ink on it, so I got it darker, or I used less water. So it's a combination of how much ink you put on and how much water you use. Now the reason why I like to spritz it is because the lines on the stamp can be very sort of straight, and by spritzing it, it gives it the more realistic look to it, where the lines have sort of fluttered out a bit. But we got that really messy, painty look without making a huge mess, just with a little bit of water. So now all I need to do is stamp my saying, my greeting. I'm going to use Merry Christmas to you, I think. Now when I use stamps for the first time, I don't like to stamp directly onto my card. I have an extra piece of paper here. So you ink up your stamp, and then I stamp on the paper just to make sure, because sometimes when you use them for the very first time, you see that between either I didn't press down enough or my ink or that. So let me try again. That's a little better. I think what the problem is that my ink isn't very dark, but I'm going to use it anyway. I probably have to add more ink to my ink pad. So I'm going to go over it a couple extra times just to see if I can get more ink on there. And then I'm going to place my stamp down. Make sure I add pressure all the way along. And there we have our message. Merry Christmas to you. So it's that quick to make a fun little artsy card for the holiday season. Well, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to check out our website at www.scraptime.ca. And on our next episode, I'm showing you some products from Stampendous. So please join us. Thanks for watching Scrap Time.